Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up to the ground come a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is a place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Is here.
About time.
You sent for me, Chief?
Well, I did. Where have you been?
It's my day off.
Day off? I don't give days off to... What is that?
This happens to be the official uniform of the Biddle Bird Watchers, Beverly Hills Nest, of which I am flockmaster.
Well, fly home and change. You're taking me up to the Clampetts to get these income tax returns signed.
But, Chief, 1 year ago, you promised me a day off. Our esteemed founder, Professor P. Casper Biddle, is coming to town.
No, forget it. I need you at the Clampetts in case he asks me tax questions I can't answer.
But, Chief, the professor is leading us to the nesting place of the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Not until I lead you to the nesting place of the stubble-cheeked taxpayer. Now, come on. We'll stop by your place and you can change clothes.
I am sorry, Chief. I have worked weekends, holidays, and nights so that I might have Biddle day off. And as flockmaster of the Beverly Hills Nest, it is my duty and privilege to meet the professor upon his arrival.
Well, call him. Tell him to take a taxi.
Our only contact is by carrier pigeon, and the last one has been dispatched.
Carrier pigeon?
Yes, the professor is hiking in from the Tehachapi's. I'm to meet him at the foot of the Big Saugus Wash in exactly 22 minutes.
All right, we'll pick him up on the way to the Clampetts.
But Chief, our bird-watching expedition.
You'll be out of there in plenty of time to look for your freckle-faced woodpecker or whatever it is.
Yellow-bellied sapsucker.
All right, all right.
Come on, Pop. You get the first taste.
So you made some donuts, huh?
Yes, sir. All by myself. There they is.
Now, that's what you call a real man-sized donut.
Made especially for you and Jethro.
Yeah, ain't that dandy? Why don't you go find Jethro so he can enjoy these with me?
Well, all right.
Who dropped the dish?
There's no dish, Granny. I busted one of Ellie's donuts.
Has that girl been cooking again?
I reckon you could call it that. They come out a mite crisp.
Wait till I show you the cookies she baked yesterday. Here. Try one.
Okay.
No. Don't put it in your mouth.
Why not?
No telling what she's got in them things.
Well, what's wrong with them?
Here, I'll show you. Hold on to that.
That girl don't turn out your average run-of-the-mill baked goods, does she?
You ain't seen nothing yet. Watch this.
Granny, I think we gotta stop telling Ellie the way to get a man is with her cooking.
Yeah. Poor fella. First meal would be his last.
Mr. Drydale's coming over with some tax papers for me. I'll mention again about Ellie meeting some fellas.
Mention nothing. Hit him with one of these donuts. Bounce a cookie off of his noggin.
Well, I'll put it as plain as I know how.
You tell him if he don't come up with a fella, I'm gonna commence burying Ellie's cooking in his yard. Kill a few of his trees.
Hold it. Don't knock.
I distinctly heard the call of a hermit warbler.
How exciting. Perhaps the Clampetts will know if there's one nested hereabout.
You wait here. If there are any questions, I'll sneak out and see you.
But Professor Biddle would like to meet Mr. Clampett.
Yes, I'm trying to raise money to aid in the preservation of the California condor.
The professor is the only human being who has ever managed to live in prolonged and intimate contact with that rare and remarkable bird.
I've actually occupied a condor's nest. As these photographs will prove. I took these with a tripwire. Of course, the condor's nest is just a rocky ledge or sheltered spot high among the rocks.
As you know, Chief, the California condor is probably one of the largest of all flying birds.
But they need help if we're to keep them from disappearing. There are only about 40 left.
A donation for Mr. Clampett would
Forget it. Await in the car, both of you. Preferably in the trunk.
Well, Mr. Drydale, come in.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Who's them two fellas?
Oh, there's a couple of bird watchers.
Well, from the looks of them, the birds probably do a little watching themselves.
Well, Mr. Clampett, I'm afraid it's that time of year again.
What you mean?
Time for us to pay our income taxes.
Oh, good. Let's give them a little extra this year.
What?
Well, I sure can't spend all the money I got, and it ain't doing no good just laying down there in your bank. You turned pale. You feeling poorly?
No, I'll be all right. May I have a glass of water?
Well, howdy there.
Ellie Mae, hello.
Miss Jane, I didn't know you right off.
Ellie Mae, I should like you to meet the famous ornithologist and founder of Biddle's Bird Watchers, Professor P. Casper Biddle. Ellie Mae Clampett.
How do you do, Miss Clampett?
Well, howdy. What y'all looking for?
Birds.
Well, shucks, you don't need them things. I'll just whistle you one down so she can see it up close.
A wild bird?
Well, what would you like? A blue jay, a robin, a owl, a dove?
She does have an amazing rapport with wild creatures.
Well, yonder's Henry. Come on down, Henry. Come on now.
Remarkable. She has tamed a Cyanoceta stellari.
Well, this is a blue jay.
Same thing, Ellie. He's a member of the Corvidae family.
No, ma'am, he's a Clampett. See you later, Henry.
Flockmaster Hathaway, why isn't this girl a Biddle bird watcher?
A definite oversight on my part, Commander Biddle. Ellie Mae would make a splendid addition to our Beverly Hills nest. Would you like that, Ellie?
I reckon so.
Well, I suggest we induct her right now and get her uniformed in time for today's expedition.
Good thinking.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Hello there, Granny.
Hello. Well, Jed, did you put it to him about the fella?
What fella, Granny?
The fella Ellie ain't got.
Well, Mrs. Drysdale wasn't feeling good. I thought I'd wait a bit.
Ellie's been waiting 4 years. If you can't come up with a new one, bring back one of the old ones. Like that big, handsome movie star, Dash Riprock.
Yeah, what happened there? Ellie liked him a heap.
And he liked Ellie.
Well, then why don't he come around no more? Get after him, twist his arm a bit.
I'll do just that.
Well, now, hold on. I wouldn't want you pushing Mr. Riprock at Ellie.
Wow, Granny, look at the fella I just met.
Hello, I am P. Casper Biddle.
Howdy.
Howdy.
We's going bird watching in Griffith Park.
Yes, we're going to look for the nesting place of the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
I reckon it wouldn't hurt to push Mr. Riprock a little.
Dash Riprock to see Mr. Drysdale.
Dash Riprock in person. Here in this office.
Yes. I believe I'm expected.
Oh, no. I would have had my hair done and worn a different dress and...
I meant Mr. Drysdale's expecting me. Miss?
May I have your autograph?
Of course.
Well, not there. Here.
What are you doing out here, Noodleman?
Mr. Drysdale, I'd appreciate it if you used my professional name, Dash Riprock.
Oh, forgive me. I've been reading your contract. In here, you're Homer Noodleman of Peoria, Illinois.
Yes, that's my legal name.
Interesting thing about your contract, Homer, Dash. The studio has the right to put you in a television series.
Oh, I'm sure they wouldn't want to do that.
Yes. Well, they usually do what I recommend.
But I'm strictly a movie star. The overexposure of television...
All right, let's forget it. Well, how's everything else? Been having any fun?
Oh, man.
Yes, I read about you in the gossip columns. You must have 5 or 6 girls, eh?
Oh, don't believe everything you read in the newspaper. More like 15 or 20.
Tell me, Dash, whatever happened with you and Ellie Mae Clampett?
Who?
The little hillbilly girl.
Oh, yeah, Ellie Mae. Nice girl. Real sweet. Beautiful, too.
Then why don't you date her anymore?
Oh, no, not me. Those people play with guns.
What?
I brought her home one night. Granny was waiting up for us with a double-barreled shotgun across her lap.
Well, you shouldn't have kept her out so late.
It was 8:30.
Dash, just do me a favor and start dating Ellie again, eh?
No, thank you. The code of the hills is not for me.
Yeah. Well, you won't have time for dating anyway once you start your new television series, Crabman. What? You'll cash in on the craze for comic strip heroes. You'll wear a crab outfit with these big claws. And drive a crabmobile.
Mr. Drysdale?
Yes, Homer?
Can I use your phone? I'd like to call Mr. Clampett, ask permission to see his daughter.
Good boy, Dad.
Oh, Professor. Miss Jane says her and Ellie will be out directly.
Thank you. What was that?
Nothing. I just busted a donut.
Donut?
What you looking at?
Well, I'm trying to find a stellar eye in that dying elm tree.
Oh, that ain't what's killing it. That's last week's cupcakes.
Cupcakes?
Sit down, Professor. Tell me all about yourself.
There's something alive in that sack?
Just some cookies.
What?
Where are you from, Professor?
Well, at present, I'm living in a little shack up in the mountains.
Well, you ain't got the look of a mountain man.
Well, no, it's not my native habitat. I'm just living there to be near my friends, the condors.
They live in the mountains, do they?
Oh, yes, that's the only place they're happy.
I know just how they feel.
Are you familiar with the California condors?
No, but that name rings a bell. You know any other condors?
Well, there are some in South America.
That's down in my neck of the woods.
Doubtless you mean the Andean condors.
No. Let me see now. What was their name again?
Here she is, Professor, our fledgling bird watcher.
My word, you are a credit to our group, Miss Clampett.
Thank you.
We'd best hurry, Commander Biddle. We rendezvous with the others at 1400 hours.
Oh, yes, so we do. Goodbye, Granny.
Bye-bye.
Granny?
Granny, I can't find them cookies I baked yesterday.
You can't?
No, and I wanted to take them with me. Same thing happened to my cupcakes last week.
Well, don't worry about it, honey.
Say, Ellie, Rip Rock called while she was out getting your uniform. Said he was coming over to see you.
Well, tell him I'll get back quick as I can.
Well, ain't you going to wait for him? He should be here by now.
Well, I can't, Paul. I'm going with them.
Well, now, Ellie, don't you remember Dash? A big, strapping, good-looking movie star?
Sure. Tell him I'll get back just as soon as we done bird watching.
Well, say, you might as well take along my bird call that I whittled. It's upstairs in my room someplace.
Okay. Be back in a minute.
Say, now, there's who you ought to take bird watching.
Jethro?
Have him break trail through the brush for you. Them feet of his will lay down a path you could drive a wagon over.
What do you think, Commander?
Well, he's not in uniform, but
Jethro! Come here, boy. You going bird watching?
Here. Take this out in the woods with you and get rid of it. But don't let Ellie see what's in it.
Huh?
Come on, boy. They're waiting for you.
Uncle Jed, what's going on here?
He's going out looking for birds.
Hot dog. What kind? Quail, duck, pheasant, turkey?
Ask them.
Jethro Bodine, Professor P. Casper Biddle.
Hello, Jethro.
Howdy. What kind of birds we going looking for?
Yellow-bellied sapsuckers.
Divvy's on the drumstick.
Go on, have fun now.
I found it, Paul.
Well, I say, Ellie, that ain't the call I had in mind.
Bye!
I thought thought you said Dash Riprock was coming to see Ellie.
He is, but I couldn't hold her. Now we got to figure out how to hold him till she gets back.
Oh, that won't be no chore. I got a great big pot of grits and gopher I can warm up for him.
That ought to hold him.
Speaking of gophers, do you remember that bucktooth family that used to live up on Piney Ridge?
You mean the Condors?
Yeah. What was their first names?
Let me think now.
It wasn't Andy and somebody, was it?
Well, let's see now. Hers was Jenny.
That's right. They called her Aunt Jenny.
And Uncle Will. Will and Jenny Condor.
That's them. Had 14 young'uns.
Every one of them bucktooth.
When that family went to eating corn on the cob, they set up a clatter you could hear for a mile away.
What made you ask about him, Granny?
That little professor fella. He knows some condors out here in California.
A dickens, you say? Wonder if there's any kin to Will and Jenny.
Could be. There's mountain folks.
Well, let's have them down to Vittles.
Dandy idea. The professor's staying with him. He can fetch him down. I'll cook up a great big mess of catfish.
And plenty of corn on the cob.
Clampett! Boy, my tax man found one form he didn't sign.
You run all the way from the bank?
No, just my house.
Come in.
I didn't see Dash Riprock's car. Are he and Ellie out driving?
Well, he said he was coming over, but he ain't showed up.
What?
He's missed Ellie. She's gone off with a little bird watcher.
Why, Mr. Riprock, come in.
Hello, Granny. Hi there, Mr. Clampett.
Howdy, Mr. Riprock.
Mr. Drysdale?
Hello, Crabman.
Mr. Drysdale, wait. Let me explain. I got here as soon as I could.
It wasn't soon enough, Homer.
I wanted to clear the whole afternoon and evening for Ellie Mae. That was 6 dates I had to break.
Okay, you've got one more chance. But make good, or you'll be combing seaweed out of your hair. With a claw.
You ain't leaving, are you, Mr. Riprock?
Ellie will be back.
And I'll be waiting for her. I'll sit right here so I don't miss her.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that. Come on inside and be comfortable.
I'll give you some vittles. Do you like grits?
Well, like anything you cook, Granny.
Wait till you see what I've cooked with them.
I sure hope that professor don't keep Ellie away too long.
Oh, say, speaking of that little oddball, did he ask you for money to help the Condors?
No, he spoke to Granny about him, but he didn't ask for money.
Good.
But if the Condors need help, I'll give him all the money he wants.
Please, Mr. Clampett.
Turning pale again.
Look, don't give the professor any money, at least until I've looked into the tax aspects. It may not be deductible.
Oh, what difference does that make?
Now, please, just wait until I've checked into it. Meantime, the state of California is doing what it can to help the Condors. So you relax, and I'll get back to you.
I sure hope they ain't related to Will and Jenny. Be a blow to find out their kin was taking charity from the state.
This might take a bit to warm up.
Well, that's all right.
I'd offer you one of Ellie's cookies, but they's all gone. I tell you, when that girl bakes something, it don't stay around no time at all.
She must be pretty good.
Good ain't the word for Ellie's cooking. What? Just this morning she baked 10 pounds of donuts and they's gone already.
Just my luck to miss out on them.
It sure is.
Well, how y'all doing?
Granny's been telling me all about Ellie's cooking.
Oh, well, don't forget, she's awful pretty.
He didn't get a chance to sample nothing, Jed.
Oh, that's too bad. But then from what I hear tell, you movie stars ain't never home to eat nohow.
True, but then something like Ellie's cooking might just settle a fella down.
That's a fact.
Ellie's cooking and a fella might never leave the table.
No. You're going to be all right.
What's the matter with Jethro?
Well, he became ill on the trail. We terminated our expedition and rushed him home.
What's hurting you, boy?
Them donuts you get me. I feel like I swallowed a couple of brake drums.
You ate them?
Well, what'd you think I'd do? Bury them?
My own fault for making them. I shouldn't have tried to best Ellie.
What are you talking about? Ellie's a woman.
Best thing in the world for a stomach ache. Miss Jane, take Dash out and show him the cement pond.
It's a good idea.
Oh, well, we've seen the cement pond.
It's got all different water in it now.
Real pretty.
You get upstairs to bed. I'll be up directly and doctor you.
Now I know what a chicken feels like with a gizzard full of rocks.
Granny, glad to get you alone for a minute. You know them condors we was wanting to have down to Vittles?
Yeah?
Well, it turns out they is real hard up.
No.
According to Mr. Drysdale, they is on relief.
Well, let's give them a sack full of money.
Granny, they is mountain folks. They wouldn't take money from strangers.
True.
We gotta figure a way to help them so they can keep their pride.
The little professor fella is a friend of theirs. Why don't you talk to him whilst I remedy Jethro?
Good idea.
You're absolutely amazing, Ellie Mae. You've even tamed a Corvus brachyrhynchus.
For a bird watcher, you sure don't know much about critters. This here's a crow.
Oh, Ellie Mae, I've never met anyone like you.
Well, I never met anybody like you neither.
May I give your feathered friend some food?
Well, sure.
I always carry a supply in my crumb case.
You tote that around just for the birds?
Well, no, actually, these larger pieces are my lunch. But I'm happy to share them with your friend.
Well, he's your friend, too.
I hope we're going to be good friends, Ellie.
We already are. Well, you're one of the nicest, kindest...
Ellie Mae, you're back.
Well, howdy, Dash. This here's Professor Biddle.
Hi. Gee, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Dash, this is the famous Professor Biddle I've been telling you about.
Swell. Come on, Ellie, let's go for a walk.
Now, here, just a moment. Sir.
Oh, Professor, you're just a fellow I've been looking for.
But
Sit down. I want to talk to you about helping them condors.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Indeed, it would, Mr. Clampett.
You too, Miss Jane. Sit down.
Thank you.
Granny tells me you've been staying with them up there in the mountains.
Yes, I have.
What kind of place they got?
Well, they live mostly in caves and on rock ledges.
Yeah. How many of them is there up there?
Well, I've only counted 12 myself, but there's supposed to be about 40 of them altogether.
They got Will and Jenny backed off. I bet you when that California bunch goes to eating corn on a cob, you can't hear yourself think.
Mr. Clampett, condors do not eat corn.
The ones back home do.
Back home? Oh, you're probably thinking of wild turkeys.
Oh, there's corn on the cob made the noise.
Perhaps I can clear up the confusion. Commander, where are those pictures of you and the condors?
In my map case inside.
Excuse me.
Say, Professor, I got a kind of a notion. Supposing, instead of money, we gather together a bunch of clothes and stuff and leave them up there in the mountains where the condors can find them.
Clothes?
Yeah, good, heavy, warm stuff.
You couldn't get a condor to wear clothes.
You mean to tell me there's 40 of them running around up there buck-tooth naked?
Mr. Clampett, do you know what a condor looks like?
I don't care how pretty they are. They ought to wear something.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, I am so thrilled that you're going to help the commander in his fight to save the condors. For years now, they have been driven farther and farther back into the mountains, shot at, harassed, poisoned.
I don't wonder, the way they carry on.
Oh, great. Let me show you a picture of the condors.
No, thank you. Whatever you do, don't let Granny see him.
Mr. Clampett.
Clothes on condors. Gee, and they call me a nut.
Like I told you, I got a date with Professor Biddle tonight.
Well, break it. I broke 6 for you.
Well, I can't do that.
Of course you can.
No, I can't.
Excuse me, I believe the young lady made herself clear.
Now, stay out of this, little fella. Now, look, Ellie.
I'm warning you, don't annoy her.
Butt out, Buster.
I'm afraid you leave me no alternative. Prepare to defend yourself.
I'll be doggone. So that's a condor.
Yes, they're the largest birds.
Oh! Do you give up?
Yes, yes.
Say uncle!
Uncle!
Very well. Let him up, Ellie.
No hard feelings, Dash. See you tomorrow night.
Okay. But don't be surprised if I pick you up in a crabmobile.
Now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here.
This has been a Filmways presentation.